let me move through some of the other, any possibility here of how we've run afoul. The fact check under my tweet included, there's a risk of violence.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
A risk of violence. Was there any incitement to violence there? I don't know if you...
No.
Just to be clear.
No.
I don't think anything. Are they trying to say because some people stormed the Capitol at some point that me showing a voting address that doesn't exist is inciting people to violence when we've consistently told people to not be violent? As a matter of fact, condemned violence as it caused billions of dollars in damages across this country and raised six figures for a foundation for David Dorn.
I'm sorry. Didn't we just engage an entire multi-day theater over impeaching the president based on evidence that he was the one that caused it?
Right.
So he's the one that caused it. It wasn't tweets. It wasn't other speakers. It wasn't articles. It wasn't questioning a system to make sure that the system is good. Everyone on every side of this issue, every person in America loves America, wants to come to a great America, wants to make sure that our voting systems are good. And if we can't raise questions... If we can't raise questions,
no, I agree with that. I don't agree that everyone loves America.
Well, we didn't even use the inflammatory word peacefully in that show. I mean, we stayed way away from peaceful.
We stayed from even addressing
You can't say that
because they say if you say peacefully, it's a dog whistle to mean violently.
Right.
The neighborhoods I was in were pretty violent.
That's why I put the sunglasses on halfway through.
There were a lot of comments like, I love how Dave was trying to pretend like he wasn't filming. Or it's like in selfie, he was like, so I don't know, what's this? And he's like fixing his nose. He's trimming his nose hairs with a Gillette. So that's hey, what are you doing? Nothing. I'm just doing, no. Oh, I got nose hairs too, man. You cross 40, you lose hair, the hair get in your nose. Something else they said, okay? Claiming, which we did not do, claiming victory before election results have been certified.
What?
Is not, which we did not do. I mean, the election results have already been certified, but what about, did we bring that up? You showed those? Yeah. People like, well, that's their policy.
Yeah.
But I think we have collage D, which is Kamala Harris.
Yep.
Nancy Pelosi claiming victory before the election results had been certified.
Oh, no.
So the rules that they use not only could not apply to us at all, but they selectively didn't apply them to people who would be violating them. They claimed victory before the election was certified. Did we do that? I just want to be clear.
no.
Okay. Kamala Harris on November 7th said, we won this election definitively.
Elegant.
Okay.
Can I point out something real quick?
Yeah.
This is the danger that everyone has to recognize when you put so much power into these tech companies who are then paying subcontractors minimum wage to review the tweets. If even that, they just got some AI bot chained up in the back and telling them, screw all of the types of things that are like that. All right, we don't like those either. But ultimately, this is the problem because there is no recourse. There is no customer service line. There's no one calling and saying, hey, I wanted to check on that to see how it is. Their appeal process goes into a black hole to be reviewed by more robots or possibly at some level people. But what that means is at this scale, they are simply unable to exercise their ability to enforce their rules in good faith. You can't do it. If you've left it to robots that you can't really figure out what they're doing, then you aren't acting in good faith.
Well, and if this post isn't back up with full interactivity, then we know that it's not in good faith. Because, and I'll explain sort of, I don't want to say the trap, but I'll explain what it is that we've laid here. We've gone to great lengths to ensure that it does not run afoul. Sometimes we'll go, why do you dance around it? We're not dancing around it. We're not dancing around anything. We're making sure that we bet once and we bet right. And if they violate their own guidelines and their own enforcement and choose to double down on it, now it's become their problem, not ours, where we're relegated to some message board or some alternative platform. Which, by the way, if an alternative platform out there wants to mirror this YouTube channel, let us know. Because there are a few out there, but I don't know if we've had anyone reach out directly. So, okay, incitement to violence, no. Unverified election, no.
No.
Final one that some people may try and claim is, doxing, which is actually, we did the, I didn't even know this was a thing. Maybe it'll go in Urban Dictionary. We anti-doxed.
there is no there.
We pointed out addresses that don't exist. You doxed a median
harassment
in Greektown in Detroit. I mean, how does this, so did we dox, did we try and tell, and doxing, by the way, is also with malicious intent.
Of
sending someone to someone's house.
Well, not only was there the anti-doxing, which I agree, I like that term. Let's add it Webster's. But but ultimately, none of that was in the Twitter post.
No.
None of that was in the post itself.
No, not at all.
Right? The post itself was a preview about the show where the verification was occurring, right? So when you look at all of the different rules, and the fact that we're even having to go through all of these is emblematic of the problem. They don't tell you what they don't tell you what the problem is. You have to guess what the problem is. Even if you happen to guess what the false problem is, there's no one to talk to about it, and there's no way to undo it. But then afterwards, when it's all done, maybe they let you out of Twitter jail. Maybe they go, but here, remember this. Anyone can go to your Twitter channel right now or go to your page and find the tweet. They just can't interact with it.
Yeah, what is that?
So if it was so dangerous, if it was so inciting to violence, if it was such a clear violation of rules that you couldn't put the reason in the email, why is it still up
Like
at
if
all?
it was Jeffrey Dahmer eating a guy in his, junior apartment, and they're like, well, you know what, this is a violation. You can't show this. We just won't. You can quote tweet it.
I thought he had a 2-bedroom, but
he maybe had a 2. It's a 1-bedroom with a junior suite.
That's
One
it.
room was a shrine of bones.
Yes, and butts.
Yeah, he had
Like
a
to
few.
preserve
he
those.
had a thing.
Come on, waste not.
Want not.
Well, it just shows clearly that their goal is not to protect people from misinformation. Their goal is to silence political views that they disagree with, right? We took the safest possible route. We talked about this with other information coming out from other people saying Dominion voting systems was the thing. That was difficult because it would either take forever to prove or it would be impossible to prove.
Right.
This was easy, right? It's illegal to vote in a state you don't live in. We just looked at the addresses you listed and they don't exist.
Yeah, and by the way, really quickly, also Eric Swalwell, the professional banger of Chinese spies in chief, he did claim that's collage E here. He claimed
Is that why he
Biden
keeps
was the winner.
calling me?
Did he really? Yeah.
Here, put this on. I don't know. It's a nice. I don't like negligees, but it is silk. Let me be really clear here too with what we've done. Like I've said, comment below. Again, the best thing you can do right now is put the hashtag out. It could be free credit. Just include my last name in it because we were trending accidentally. Thank you to Tim Pool for covering it. And by the way, in this case, credit where it's due. Thank you to YouTube for not taking it down. But we understood what YouTube's rules were.
Yeah.
I think they're silly.
But we
still played by them, and they didn't selectively enforce them. Let me be really clear about this here, too. It doesn't mean that this is the only these are the only examples of election fraud out there. It's the only thing that we can prove and that you can actually verifiably prove. For example, look, what we can do and what we did, we said, what is it that we could 100% testify to in court if we needed to? Go through the voter rolls, see if it's a deliverable address, see if it's the name, see if this person voted, do all that, then go to the address and see that it doesn't exist. This is the only thing we can prove because it's the only place we can physically visit. Now, this would be the smallest example of any potential irregularities out there. There is no system that I can use to see if people voted, illegal immigrants voted. There is no system I can actually use to see if people voted in separate states. There is no system I have available to me as an entertainment host to see if the paper ballots match signatures. I can't do that. This is the simplest and easiest one. It's the only thing that I could do, and I could do it to the tune of all year, never do another show, just go to addresses. It just depends on what you want me to do. Do you want us to take a couple of weeks off and rent an RV? We can number this in the hundreds if we confirm what we have on Google Earth, but again, Google Earth isn't enough. New York Times can just say, no voter fraud, don't believe Crowder. We can do it. It's just a matter of time.
So, I mean, it's becoming more absurd, but I do appreciate it, right? I mean, at least now you've got Twitter. They're coming out of the shadows. They're doing less of the, we're going to put a silent thumb behind the scale because there are more eyes. So now they're going, okay, we're going to start sending some emails. We're going to tell you what's going on. And every time they make a step like this, whether it's Twitter or the other platforms, they're showing how their steps are mistaken. Right. And then we can do something more about it, right? I mean, so many people have said, no, they don't do that. And you hear them testify in front of Congress. We'll tell you why if you're being restricted. We'll tell you why you're banned. And then you look at it and you go, they're not doing it.
They haven't told you why. And let me be really clear.
This is their rules.
These are their. I couldn't care less about. And we don't want to. People know that we're filing a lawsuit against Facebook. I don't want to sue Twitter because they're the least relevant of the platforms.
Right.
I mean, listen, they're driving themselves into the ground at this point.
It's jacked.
But I will say this: this segment will be uploaded to Twitter because f*** you. And also, I don't really care about my account. This post, that's not enough for me. This post needs to be publicly available, and people need to be able to remove that is to put your thumb on the scale of democracy, on the scale of this constitutional republic, and that's more important. If they want to put me in Twitter jail, I would. If they said, "Look, we'll give you an agreement right now. You can no longer tweet, but we'll make sure that these posts, that this process you went through, these segments where you verify addresses will be up. Take your pick in a heartbeat." I am tired right now of this, of people being so concerned about I couldn't care less. I was taken out of Twitter jail so quickly, to be clear. We just don't have an answer as to what's going on with the post, and it's not enough. It's not enough. We're coming for it. It's got to be available, or you tell us what is wrong. Find something wrong with what we did. Find something factually inaccurate. We fact-checked you. We fact-checked the people who didn't go through the verification process. If we are wrong, you need to prove it to us. Otherwise, it's just silencing information that you don't like.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.